Hey y'all, this is Trevor, and you're watching The Apocalypse. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. This is my new show. I know that the world is kind of paused, and we are all doing things a little bit differently, so I'm trying to utilize the time to use all of my new fancy tools and put myself in front of the camera for once, and just talking to a microphone about nothing for a while. Also play some tunes. I'm also gonna make some vlog kind of material of just dumb things like playing disc golf. And I've been trying to practice archery, and I'm horrible at it, but it's been a lot of fun. I'll probably have some more dog videos because I always do that, but I'm just looking to make some stuff while we are all kind of pausing our lives and staying at home. I'm pretty fortunate to be in this amazing studio and call it my home. And so not leaving here is not a big deal. I have everything I need, and it's a lot of fun to be here. Unfortunately, having people over and working with other people is kind of not an option. I think in small groups we're still going to try and do it. But I'm kind of stuck here alone. And when I first started working here, the business was a little bit slow, so I spent a lot of time writing and recording some of my own music. And it was a lot of fun, and it was good practice for me to get my production chops up. So when I worked with other people, um, it would I had more experience and I knew what I was doing. And then the business picked up and we started doing a lot more video work and working on, multiple albums at one time, and I kind of put that on the back burner. So now it's kind of a chance for me to get back at that. And I'm excited for that. So I'll be sharing all of that over the next few weeks. So I had a few things I wrote down here I wanted to talk about before I get to playing. Obviously, the coronavirus is doing crazy things out there. Grocery shopping is an experience, as we all know now. A few days ago, I went to HEB and the line was half mile at least, maybe 2 or 3 miles, and that's me being very moderate with my estimate. It was probably 4 or 5 exits down 35, if I'm being honest. So I went to Walmart, and there was no line at Walmart, and I thought that was awesome. But when I got inside, I realized why there was no line, because there was no food. Uh, so I went to the protein section, the meat section, no meat. All there really was fresh produce and then junk food. So I got some produce, and then I got a lot of junk food. I went down the chip aisle, and that was fully stocked. It's weird in America. It seems that the processed foods are, always going to be stocked up, and it's our most thriving industry that can go against any virus, any plague, any war. There's going to be 3 people left on the planet, and there's going to be 500,000 bags of Doritos. Um, so, anyways, in the chip aisle, I got my go-to, which is the jalapeno Cheetos. Everyone knows those are fire. I also got some Pringles, a little bit of an impulse buy, but I was a little panicked because of the apocalypse. And then lastly, I saw some Funyuns, and I was feeling very nostalgic. I haven't bought Funyuns in like a decade, so I grabbed a bag of those. And let me tell you, Funyuns taste like a middle school hallway. It's just instant nostalgia. I ate a full bag, like this size bag, in about 24 hours. And so I had to play like 2 hours of disc golf the next day just to kind of even it out and feel okay about myself. I don't think it worked, but I tried. Something about those Funyuns was just gross, but also delicious. And I know how fucked up that sounds, but I stand by that statement. It definitely tastes like middle school as soon as it hits your tongue. It tastes like angst. As soon as I ate the first one, I felt like all the girls were taller than me. I'm 6'2", but it just took me right back to being 12 years old, being under 5 foot, being very angsty, not quite sure how sex works, kind of relying on your friends to also figure it out and share. I think it goes, I think you pee in her, you know? That's what, if I'm being honest, that's what most guys under the age of 12 think. And then once you get to middle school, then you learn the real deal, that babies are just delivered on your doorstep in a basket. Anyways, Funyuns, I'm not going back down that road, but why do they give you bad breath if they taste good? And why does food do that? It's a similar thing to Why does your shower get dirty if all you do is clean yourself in it? Like, if something tastes good, shouldn't it put out a smell that's good because those are connected? I guess it could be the way that the saliva and all that harvests all those flavors and does something to them, but I don't know, something I never understood, and I think it's a possibility that there's no order in the universe and also no God. Don't quote me on that. I'm just kind of guessing. I don't know for sure, but the biggest piece of evidence I see for there being no God is that things that taste good give you bad breath. And you can quote me on that, actually. I also, after my Walmart experience, I went out and I found a grocery store that was fully stocked. And I'm not going to tell you the name of the store because fuck you, that's my grocery store now, and I don't want anybody else knowing about it. These are desperate times. I'm all about sharing and helping other people, but not with my groceries anymore. I got 4 rolls of toilet paper. I got fresh tortillas. I got like a few pounds of chicken. I'm eating good right now. I struck gold. And also, it was like mostly young people there. So, not too worried about the plague. It'll still kill us, but uh, we just are better at just pretending it's not happening, right? And that's one thing that I do feel like the coronavirus is. It's not going to be the end of the world, but it does feel like it right now. And I always thought that the apocalypse in the modern era would be like something nuclear and something really immediate. Like the bomb hits and boom, we're all gone. And if there's any survivors, then it's just like this chaos of zombies and diseased people and nature is screwed. But that's not what this is. This is very gradual, and we all kind of see what's coming, and every day it gets like a tad worse. But it happens so slowly that I just feel like I'm able to ignore it and kind of compartmentalize it and kind of just realize, yeah, it's a little worse. And you even forget about it every now and then, and life goes on. But then you kind of go back and you turn the news on, and the news is just 24/7 plague, death, everyone, economy fucked. It's not even full sentences anymore. It's just like 2 or 3 words. Economy fucked, shit. That's CNN at the bumper right now. If you turn to CNN, that's exactly what it says. I'm not lying to you. But anyways, toilet paper it's one of the things that is joked about way too much and talked about way too much, so I hate to talk about it. But that was never my first instinct, was to stock up on that. And I don't think it was most people's. It's probably because like those bags of toilet paper is so big, there's probably only 10 of them in the store. So the shelves probably clear out only when 10 people freak out, not when 50 people freak out like it would seem. Um, but it got me thinking, like, whenever we all started stocking up on shit, I didn't get any toilet paper. I was like getting food and beer and CBD, CBD. And toilet paper never crossed my mind, but once people started freaking out about it and I realized, oh, I might not have toilet paper for a while, they reminded me of a few different things. First off, newspaper, which aren't around much anymore, but David's old as fuck. He's got newspaper. And books, just the ones you've already read or the ones you didn't like too much, or the ones where the dog dies. I've stopped reading those books because it makes me cry, so I'll start wiping my ass with that. I was also in Brenham, Texas this summer, and we went to some museum that was like the birthplace of Texas, and there was like a fake corn farmer there. Like that was his job, was to act like he was keeping the place running and living back there when Texas was born. And I was talking to him, and he was like shucking corn and all that. And then he has like, I don't know if it's called the cob, but it's the center. And he's like, now you know what we use these for, right? And I was like, no idea. But my mind got a little dirty in a different way than he described. And he goes, this is our toilet paper. And it's pretty brilliant. That's some pretty solid toilet paper if it's the 1800s, and the doctors are giving you cocaine. Like a little bit of corn would be some good toilet paper. So when this all went down, I planted an acre of corn out in the yard, not for food. I'll probably give the food away, but just to keep my ass clean. And I suggest you all do the same. I also have a lot of albums that I can use. I'll probably start with Westway. That's like some really good toilet paper material. Shout out Westway. Check them on Spotify and iTunes and anywhere else that you get music recorded in the studio. Um, but yeah, I'm not freaking out about toilet paper. Neither should you. Another interesting thing about the coronavirus has been the conspiracies. So I follow conspiracies a lot. I find them entertaining, and I don't know. It just seems like the fringes of human thought, and you know, it kind of feels like, oh, this is like a percentage of the population that thinks in a certain way that's very anxious and always worst case scenario, and always like establishment can't be trusted. And I think there's parts of it that are healthy for society, but there's other parts that get carried away, obviously, and do harm. But the conspiracies around the coronavirus are a bit different than most conspiracies, because I think of most conspiracies as like being worse than what's actually happened. Like 9/11 was horrible, but if the government was behind 9/11, that would be even worse. Attacking your own citizens. Chemtrails. It, that would be way worse than what's actually happening, poisoning the population, instead of it just being jet streams or whatever they're called. I don't think they're called jet streams, but you know what I'm talking about. I'm a fucking idiot. Don't listen to me. Anyways, most of the corona conspiracies are like, would be better than what's happening. Now, there's of course like the biohackers and that it's a war and someone created it to kill people. That's there. But what's more prominent is that it's a media hoax, at least from what I've seen in the conspiracy realm. And I think we'd all be pretty upset and pissed off if we found that out, but we'd also be very relieved that all these predictions and all of the numbers that we see rising every day and doubling and tripling and, not looking good. If those were a lie, we'd all be a bit relieved because we'd be like, oh, it sucks that we got lied to. But at the same time, I'm happy that we're not all going to die of the plague. So I don't know if that's a first. There might be other conspiracies out there that kind of went that way, but it does seem odd to me. So, anyways, like I plan to do a few of these every week. I'm mainly going to be playing, showing some of my other videos. Dave and I have been working really hard over the past few months, working at the 512 Brewery, working with a lot of different musicians, working on some political campaigns. The women's rally at the Capitol, we got hired to film out there, which was a lot of fun. So I'll be including some video segments of that footage we've already recorded. I'll be recording some new music, and then I'll be out there just playing frisbee golf and doing dumb things. Today we recorded a video for David to play at his own funeral where he gets to talk to people. That was interesting. He was much more mature about it. I would have been fucking with people like, hey, I never liked you. You were cool. You didn't know this, but he was just, actually saying nice things. So that was nice to film, and maybe he'll let me include some of it in this first episode here. So thank you for tuning in. I'm going to go start playing some tunes. I'll be right back. This is a song called Hands on the Wheel. I first heard it performed by Norah Jones on ACL Live, originally released by the great Willie Nelson. Hope y'all enjoy. At a time when the world seems to be spinning hopelessly out of control, there's deceivers and believers and old and in-betweeners that seem to have no place to go. It's the same old song. It's right and it's wrong. And living is just something that I do. And with no place to hide, well, I looked in your eyes. Oh, and I found myself in you. looked to the stars, tried all of the bars, and I've nearly got up in smoke. Now with my hands on the wheel of something that's real, well now I feel like I'm going home. In the shade of an oak down by the river sits an old man in a boat, setting sail, spinning tails, and fishing for whales with a lady that they both enjoy. It's the same damn tune, it's the man on the moon, and it's the way that I feel about you. And with no place to hide, well I looked in your eyes, oh and I found myself in you. I've looked to the stars, tried all of the bars, and I've nearly got up in smoke. Now with my hands on the wheel of something that's real, well now I feel like I'm going home. I'm going home. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of The Apocalypse. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that donate button. Make sure you come over, bring some beers, and hang out with me. And also, wash your fucking hands. Peace.